I remember as a teenager in high school thinking to myself one day that, you know, I'd love to ride my bike to the beach, and we lived in Tamworth, and I always loved being around the mountains and wanted to ride up that mountain, and there was something that really motivated me to want to do this bike ride, and it was that when you get to the top of the mountain range, there's 34 kilometres of continuous downhill on the other side. And so we made plans and prepared for the journey, and I remember the day that it was about to happen, and I got out of bed that morning pretty early. I said, "Oh, Dad, I'm ready now." And he says, "Oh, well, you get going and I'll catch up to you shortly." And so I got on my bike and started riding down my street and through town past the shops, and I could just see the shape of the shops and the edge of the road and the gutter, and then when I got onto the highway I could see the white line, and so I kept following the white line, and it was like only a narrow road with just a small fence on the side before you sort of rolled off the cliff down the other side. So it was a pretty hairy sort of a trip until you got to the top of the mountain, and then that was the moment that I'd been waiting for. I remember when we got to the top of the mountain, it was actually lunchtime, and Dad and I got off the bike and I put my bike down, and we went and sat and have a bite to eat, and then we just stood there on the side of the mountain looking out over this tremendous vista. And Dad had to describe some of the finer details, but I could see the horizon and the mountain shapes and the blues and the purples and the greens and so forth, and I could, you know, you could hear sometimes the farm and the industry happening in the distance. When I spoke with my wonderful artist, Robert Brownhall, he had to somehow capture that. And so I described to him what it was like for me, and he's done an amazing job of capturing scenes of rolling hills and mountains, and it was just a great reflection really for me as well. And I think he was really humbled with the opportunity to be able to recreate such a cherished moment in the life of someone who's lost their eyesight. You know, I look at the people around me that can see, and I think, you know, you guys do not know what you've got. You know, an incredible ability to be able to see. I can't see my wife smiling. We've got a little granddaughter now and a little grandson, and I've never ever seen them. And I've heard it said that I think like 75% of that can be prevented. And so it's something that we should value more than we do.